Alright, we're going to be doing another demo review here. This is game 4 of the other game. We watched game 3 with folks, and this is game 4. We're going to watch from AaJ. Again, for anybody that does watch these demos, I only review from one player angle. Reason being, when I start looking at multiple angles on these, you can get a lot of different things that could have gone wrong, and sometimes you can get conflicting opinions. So, watch from AaJ's point of view. Hopefully everything works, of course. Let's take a look. Oops, wrong button. I'm gonna look at your kickoff real quick. I don't know if it's a specific spot you're trying to get to on this kickoff, but you could feel free to boost a little more on this. This is pretty random, but not boost a little more, but flip. So if you boost into this first boost, like right here, and then flip through it, you watch a lot of high-end players do that, because you actually have a really good angle right here. You want to corner flip. This is the most ideal way to take these kickoffs. But if you corner flip that forward, you'll actually land, probably, or it'll still be around the same boost 30 with more speed, and you probably have a better chance of challenging this hit to left here. That's a weird path you took there. Looked a little indecisive. So when we go back here, so when you come back, right, I don't mind that flip. Coco's got the 50. Once this 50 hits, you want a camera flick here. And what a camera flicking is, which I didn't explain it last time I said it in the video, your ball cam on here. Camera flicking means you're going to tap your ball cam off, so you're going to go car cam, because you want to see where your teammate is. So you hit it back, right? So what you're going to get is you're going to see Vokes there. And if you see Vokes on this swing where he's at, which if I move it up, he's going to have momentum for this ball, okay? So then what you can do, and then you don't get so indecisive with this route you took, which I guess you kind of do it. Let me look here again. I didn't see it initially. You should be flicking it here, right here. Now there's the flick. It was a little late, and I think that's why you got indecisive. Flick it a little earlier. You know Coco is going to 50 here. Flick now, like flick, see where Vokes it. If he's not even in your view off the flick, that's when you need to go at that ball. But once you flick, you're like, oh, I need to go rotate here. I think it's a little faster to flick there. So, and then you get demoed, which is probably the cause of that. When you're moving around in Rocket League, this stutter you do right here, this forward back, avoid that movement at all possible. Drive in circles. One of the hardest habits to break. I do it the most when I'm in net. But anytime you're moving, just cycle circles. Go circle, circle back, circle, circle. Because you will hold your momentum and you will generally position better. But when you go back, you're completely stopping at one point. So you're flat. You don't ever want to be flat-footed. So what you want to do here is basically cycle circle here. Because what you do if you cycle here, right? So you're going to circle around here. You're probably going to come up at this angle when this ball pops. Which then, realistically, this guy's going up. I wonder if he hits this wall, doesn't he, right? Yep, hits it wall. You're up the wall at that point, and you can contest that. So you really want to, what's it called? You want to drive in circles. That's the concern. See, and that's the stop again there. Same thing. Just circle that. Or go deeper, you know. This backup here kills your momentum. And it's probably why you didn't get that big of a hit either. Good push for boost here. I like staying out and going for the enemy's boost there, especially when there's really no worry. You got two people in that. I like the idea of running this rotation because Vokes gets popped here. I think it was too quick. The idea is 100% correct. Give it an extra second because boom, nobody is after Dangerous hits Vokes, there's nobody challenging. So there's no real reason to use boost here. Like you see him, take your time because you boost into him and Vokes backs up. Maybe it was comms, could have been that too. But because then you also use a couple boosts there, which you don't need to use because nobody's there. So there's no rush to get to it. Right there too, no need for a boost. You can just tap that, start playing with it, you know. That's a good hit. I don't know if it's comms, but that was a good angle. Good thought. Another tough. I mean, here, right? Let me look here. You see Vokes. So this is something I have an opinion about that not a lot of people agree with me on, but this is what I like doing. On your angle, you can see Vokes. On Vokes' angle, let's assume he is on ball cam. He can't see you, right? So on your angle, he jumps and you do jump after him. I would go down and cover net here. Because the force on this then, even though your hit I think is completely justified, you're going to clear that ball. It's a great challenge for you to hit that, and Vokes ends up hitting it left to you. But if he does jump at that, I would almost just calm, be like, hey, I could have had that. But at cover net, you don't want to force the double here, which after you jump, you almost forced it. I would have much preferred, once you see Vokes jump, just do a circle back net. Go back post, cycle in net. Because Vokes hits that, if you think of where you would have been, he hits it left, because he's still winning that regardless. I think he was the first person to hit this ball. Oh yeah, by a mile. So if you circle and cycle through, you're going to be in spot to contest that right there. So if I ever have a teammate in front of me that does challenge and cut rotation like that, a lot of times I just let them do it. And the reason being because I don't want to force, especially on defense. The only time I'm going to force a double is generally offense. And the reason I force a double on offense, because crazy things happen like that there. If you force a double on defense, you're going to leave your team generally out of position. So that's something that I have a big opinion on, is if you have your teammate in front of you, because his ball cam, he's heading left, like facing this way, with ball cam looking this direction, right? And you're back behind him, and you can see him, but I can guarantee he probably couldn't see you. So either comms there or just let him go and then cycle and play his hit, because most likely when he's going, he's going to probably win that, because that's a little unorthodox hit, but then you can play his hit from there and probably take it somewhere else. So. Good job. Timing. Good enough hold boost there. So on this hit, when Vokes hits this, cycle up, because he's nobody's contesting him, and as far as I can tell from your angle, let's double check it real quick. Yeah, you don't see anybody contesting him, you know. So instead of cycling net, that's real safe. If you cycle forward with him, you probably play that hit by dangerous ACs. Dangerous ACs. What? Okay. I thought it was dangerous act. And then you could play that and go downfield with it, or 50 or something. And then Vokes, because I think immediately what happens with Vokes here is he doesn't get anything additional. He just turns back, right? Yeah, he hits, he turns, and yeah, he cycles back. You can see it at the last second there. So that's probably your ball to turn up and take at that point. And the other thing too is creating opportunities for your teammates to pass for you is very important. There's two reasons passes don't happen. One, the player doesn't pass, which is the obvious one. But two is there's no opportunity to pass. And right there, if you cycle, so instead of even turning this way, and you just go, so you say you take a different route here. It's kind of what I did before. So let's follow your path here. So your turn up here like this, and you cycle straight up here. Look where you could have been, you know, instead of cycling back. And then if you turn into this ball maybe here, or even 50 that, you could turn out. I mean, you have a free shot right there, actually. So if you did that turn out, so you landed, curve this way, turn up into these boosts, because this is a huge path I love taking. I love taking these boosts right here. Boom, boom, boom. You have a free shot. That guy's not getting there. That guy, if you put any sort of power on, it's definitely not getting there. You just got to beat this guy. And if you look at, like, the speed and where he was at, let's see how close he was to this ball. Say you hit this right here. There's no way. That's probably a free shot if you turn up. So feel free. Like, passes, like I said, passes don't happen for two reasons. One, either the player doesn't know how to pass and doesn't pass. Or two, there's no opportunity to pass. I look for a pass almost every hit if possible. But I also got to look for times to get myself in a position for a pass. And he's got a free hit there, and if you turn up, you're in a spot to follow this ball. And then say you send it downfield, right? So you send it off here and you crossbar it. Vokes has momentum where if you send that, he should be following you, right? So it becomes a bang up, hit up, and then follow. You two follow. And that's an opportunity to double at that point. You can double on that ball and finish it because Phoenix is out of position and Mage might be getting there at that point. So definitely try to challenge this ball. Even if you don't get a great hit here, this is a spot where getting a hit is better than not getting a hit. Like, any touch is better than no touch here. I say that a lot. When I have teammates in front of me and I'm like, hey, go, or like, you're alone, but any touch is a good touch. This is a spot where just double jump and boost. Just do whatever you can. Let me see your momentum when you turned in here, right? So you turned in, clip this, turn, jump. Yeah, I mean, you can get that ball. So just jump at that. And the other thing too is sometimes when you jump at balls like that, the other team is going to expect you to hit that. That's another thing that's very undervalued, is when you jump at a ball, there's a lot of times teams will just respect your jump, and maybe the guy doesn't follow it at that point. Maybe he tails off, or he tailors towards wall expecting you to hit it at wall, right? So, but what happened there is, so he hits it. Let's see again, over time. Boom, and then boom. Say you jump, he lands, and I bet you he either follows, and I'm pointing at my screen, I bet you he follows to your boost if you jump here instead of being right here. And the only reason is because he might respect that you just jumped at that ball in general. So that sounds pretty undervalued. And then AaJ too. I don't know if AaJ pushes that aggressively, seeing that you didn't jump. People will respect your play if you make them respect it, you know. So. That's just mechanical. You could have put a lot more on that, but that's just over time. I wouldn't worry about those hits too much. It's a pretty good jump. Probably could have done it a little sooner. I think with your camera, you're doing the camera flicking, right? I think you're a little slow on flicking it back, right? So here's your flick, right? For a solid probably second here, you already knew Coco was going for the corner, right? So, boom. At 152. It was a full second you had it there. It should probably be less than a half a second that you flipped this camera. So boom, you see Coco going to corner, right? Turn up on these small boost pads, just speed, just don't even need a boost either too. You can boost a supersonic, but turn right on those small boost pads, and you're gonna have, when you get to that middle boost in net, 36 more boost, right? So you're gonna double your boost value, right? So for instance, here again, right, boom, make the decision when you hit this boost to take this path. So I'm gonna take it at the same time, and then you're here, right? You're a lot closer. Like, I'm there another 2 seconds probably before you are at that point. And I think the fly is slower than cars move in this game. So so look at it one more time. If I knew how to get to people. Go inside there. The other thing too is it puts your order of operations in place. Because you kind of like still went wide on this, Coco and you are very close. You're at the front, and we kind of saw from the camera, if you take that other path, you'll be at the front of net here. And so it clearly defines you're playing near post, and when Coco gets to this back post, he's clearly back post, you know? So it defines roles at that point. So right now, you guys are both basically back post players. So, and then, you know, it's a little late up to there. Coco gets that defense, which is good, but definitely just look at taking that path a little more aggressively and follow the lines of your boost pads, you know? I like your spot there. Feel free not to jump that. Right here. Get a little more aggressive in there, get up there. I like putting pressure here, but what you can do, and this is one of my favorite things I love to do, is just drive directly at a guy. Just drive directly at him. Because what you want to just limit options here. Most likely you're so far back here, and I don't really know, you know, without rewinding and going back right now, let me see. I mean, you could have probably gone a little faster, but I think that's a hindsight is 2020 thing because he can blast this. I don't mind the space you have, but you can slowly drive to him because he never jumps. So when someone doesn't jump, they're gonna catch, right? And then you can meet him at the wall. You want to limit options, and if you're not gonna get the 50, limit his most probable option. I don't think his most probable thing here was to hit this ball up, like where you jumped. He could have, but I think his most probable option when he kind of just sat there and watched it was to trap it, especially back it up. When people do that forward back thing that I can't stand, they're generally catching the ball. The only time I'll back up and kind of just do it nonchalantly is if a ball's coming down and no one's aggressing me, right? I'm gonna let that ball come down and back up, catch it, and I'm gonna drive forward with it. And that's kind of what he did. So I think his most probable choice here was to dribble it. So in this case, I honestly think just drive straight at him, and if he hits it over you, maybe hit him, you know, that type of thing, because you just want to limit his most obvious decision he's going to make, and that's the dribble, I think, right here. Good boost. Hold. Yep. Okay. Thought about it afterwards, but back post was the right play there. A little aggressive on the jump there with Coco. Assume he's hitting this ball, right? So assume he's hitting that ball and go mid. With his angle, right? You can see his angle, right? Boom. He's turned out, and he's hitting that ball. It's either going towards Phoenix or it's going left. There's no way he hits that at the wall, right? And I don't mind boosting. This jump here is a little weird. Definitely go mid here, because if you also look, kind of already looked, there's nobody left here, right? You got Mage in the corner. Phoenix is completely not ready for him to hit this mid. So if you follow this mid here, Phoenix probably has to back off, and you get a one-on-one, right? Because he doesn't want to aggress this ball with you flying at it at this point, because you probably can catch this ball. Like you push out mid here, you can catch this ball right here, right? And you probably put a shot on that. Like that's gravy. When I have a player that close to me and I'm putting that ball high in the air, I'm putting that top shelf. So I definitely think instead of jumping that, you want to turn up mid here and trust Coco's going to hit that. Right? It's not your fault if he misses, right? You can't control misses, but what you can control is the play after the hit, and you ought to plan for your teammates to hit that. That's the first thing. So just plan for him to hit that, move downfield. If there's a 50 here, you still have Vokes, right? Vokes is coming back right here too, so you have freedom to push up field. And you know, Vokes just curious. He's got 21 boost, so he's got enough boost to do something. It's not like he's dead in the water, you know. So definitely push out mid here, go for that ball, watch his angle, and be ready. I think it's a little long again holding the camera, but we already really talked about that. A little long holding the camera at their boost. Well, line up with it and turn it off and just drive straight. That's how I do a lot of times. That's another opportunity to turn up field. Because this is something I see all the time in NCS is balls get hit and people just wait for it to come down. If you anticipate hits and just go downfield, right? Look at how much. So if I had to tell you right now, okay, let's pause this for a second. So right here, Coco's hitting this ball. Which one of these three players are following it up? Mage, Phoenix, or Dangerous? In my head, in a GC or like a high-end play, Dangerous probably hits this ball next. Surprisingly, Mage hits this next, right? Mage is the follow-up. That dude covered almost laterally the whole field sideways. You could have definitely beaten him to that ball, which I think would have been a much better opportunity. Like, feel free to turn up on these hits. This is more of those. Don't when a teammate has a free hit, play it. Like, be there, be ready for this next. And you have 100 boost too. Oof. You could hit that, do all sorts of crazy things. Definitely, when a teammate has a free hit, push forward for that. If he misses, try to be in a spot to take that at the same time, right? Because if he duds it, you're going to be there anyways. If he misses, you could probably still play it anyways. Like, their spacing was obnoxious in the middle here. Like, when he hits, boom, right there he's hitting that. See how far back they were. The entire middle's basically open, because I think Dangerous is already bailed on this hit. Mage is turning up to hit it, but I think Mage recognizes the... I mean, I don't even know, because he's flipping, so he might be playing defense, but it drops down, and Dangerous pulls off. So, I mean, the mid's wide open. Feel free. Just, when they get free hits, go for those. I like that push. That was a really good push. You needed to close the gap, and you do what you need to do there. Yes, right there. That's the exact play I'm talking about. Exactly what you need to do. Ball drops. Vokes gets a hit. Turn. Quick. Boom, boom. And you win a good 50. He almost had a free hit. That was pretty close. He misses. Oh, that's unfortunate. Trap that? Oh, no. That's alright. Good challenge. Really good stop there. Yeah, you hold your ball cam off just to about a quarter of a second, half a second too long. I think it just creates you in a little bit of a dark zone. I'm not sure what you're saying there. Good demo. I mean, in retrospect, I don't think it made a difference to the play, but if you can demo a guy recovering on your end, it's just going to delay defense that much, especially when Vokes has control. Good control of that because they didn't have anything. Good capture that. When that happens to... Oh, I don't know, you're in the ground there. When that happens to me and I see the ball rocking off the ceiling, I like to drive off the ceiling straight back towards net. Because especially, I think you could recognize none of your teammates is getting this next hit. Nobody's getting that. Drive back towards your team. Use about 30 boosts to get yourself back in the air or down, like kind of boost down angled wise, and get out. And maybe wave dash or get to hypersonic on the ground and get back. That bump was a little aggressive. And the only reason I say that is because when you're coming back here, Vokes is alone, right? So if Vokes misses this ball on the wall, it's a goal. Almost guaranteed. So I would rather, I think it's best to rotate back post here because Vokes is completely alone. You're the 2. If you're the 3rd person back, that demo is okay. But being the 2nd person back to net where Vokes is completely alone, I definitely think you should be rotating back to net there. Especially too if he gets a 50 because Dangerous is close enough where a 50 can basically happen. Missing the 100, that's unfortunate. I like that turn back there because Vokes, you weren't really sure. That's an okay challenge. Right here, be ready for a pass. Boom. That's the play you need to do. That's an opportunity to pass. You saw him going, free hit, downfield, and I definitely hit that ball. That's definitely your ball to go for. I don't even care that you missed. That's a good play. Coco's got a free hit. Turn up a little sooner. So you should recognize this hit as free right here. Right? And as soon as that's traveling, you shouldn't even pass this boost right here. Like, you shouldn't even pass this boost. Maybe if your turn is wide, but right here, this line you shouldn't pass when Coco hits this right there. You should already be turning. You should probably perpendicular to this on the turn. This half of portion here that your turn is up. Say, let's take that half. You're here instead now. Right? So you're here. You're probably here, or maybe here. Coco challenges. Now you can still be mid, and this is where you camera flick, see Vokes is in spot to get this, and you can linger mid here. And then that's where weird play comes in. So let me see what happened here. But that makes sense. You know, that tiny 1/16th of a field can make a huge difference there. So let's see what happens. So let's get all the way back to the right. Coco's for you. That bump's a little rough. Boom. Don't go for that. The only reason I mean don't go for that, you really want to have a purpose to every hit you have, right? I think you can still play aggressive on this ball, but don't jump at it. Because the angle, realistically, if you hit this ball, where's it going, right? So say you hit that ball right there. It's probably going off that corner. And it's probably cleared to Phoenix. Or it maybe goes to Coco if he gets there. What I would rather have you do here is just kind of turn up mid and catch some more boost pads. You know? Steal some boost from them. Maybe hit a weird bump somewhere. Because you definitely don't need to be back right now. It's not going in your net. So move so coming through here. Maybe move up here and get in this space. Because then the ball gets up here. And here... if Coco says he's got it, you can kind of float here then, you know? Coco says he got it, hits it, and then you can play it off the wall, you know? That's probably what I would do, something around there. It's a good aggress. Someone's going to follow that. Oh, man. That's a good, though. Again, team had a free hit, you turned up field. Because if he hit that, I think that's going to you. I just want to see his angle one more time. Boom. Turn up field. Boom. Yeah, that looked like that could have popped in your direction. So that's a good turn up field. Play this ball right away. Yep, good play. It's okay. Cycle through here. Nice hit. Yep, that's exactly what you want to do. Even with no boost, do not bail on balls. And that was very good for you not to bail on that. I don't know if you need to jump at that. Is this guy? Nah, he doesn't jump. What's better here is you have a step on this guy, right? Yeah, you got a step on that guy. Steal this wall boost down here from this guy. Go challenge this instead. Because if you win that boost, Mage does not hold that position and Dangerous goes for it. Because he's not going for a ball that high with 0 boost. So what you really want to do, so in a kickoff situation, I like to think of it as a bunch of one-on-ones at that point. So you and Mage are matched up for that 100 boost. Vokes and Phoenix are matched up for one of those 2 boosts. And Coco and Dangerous are playing the volley, right? So there's a couple things that can happen here. Is your role is to beat Mage on boost. So if you win that 100 boost and Vokes say him and Phoenix go for the other 100 boost on your side, or Vokes pressures here and goes to the far one, if you guys win that, you got 2 0 boost guys versus 200. You're almost at like a 200 plus boost advantage right now, right? So you've got a 1-on-1 on Mage, and I think your play is to really go for that boost, because all he does is flip towards it. He has no boost. And because you know that if you win this boost, so say you win this fight, you're going to have 100 boost. Use all 40 boost. Just crank it. And use 40, flip into that. I don't even care if you crash in the wall. Because when you hit the 100, you're getting 100 anyways. So this 40 boost you have here is completely pointless. And I think jumping at this is more aggressive. So use your 40 boost, win that 100 on the wall, reassess the situation after that point, right? So that's what I would do. Definitely look at kickoffs in that type of rhythm, and I think you'll have a lot more success. I like the play there. I don't know if you need to jump off wall. This is the one time I think that the back forward is okay, because you got to stay on the wall somehow. If you stay on a flat wall like that, you'll slide down it, of course. The back forward kind of holds your spot. I think staying on this crossbar is okay. And then once the misses come out here, I think you can get to the ground and play something, because none of them were playing it. What's Dangerous's angle here? He turns, but it's not great. I mean, he's so wide in that. So, I mean, I don't know if you need to jump off the wall there, because the other thing is, let me check one more thing here. Coco, and then Vogue, and you hear Vogue's, so auditory. You hear Vogue's jump, right? So that's a triple commit. That's really rough. Defensively, do your best. If you got teammates in front of you, try not to overrun, double commit, triple commit. Let them try to hit it and play their hit. If they don't hit it, there's nothing they can defend, and at the same time, there's nothing you can do. Like you gotta trust your teammates, especially defense. Offense is a little different in situations, especially if a ball's bouncing right by the net. Just go ahead and everybody rush the shit out of that. But so be a little cautious there. Don't mind that there. That jump was a little interesting. I'm not sure what the jump was for. Missing a lot of boost here. So land, turn, take a different path here. So instead of, so your path ends up being that one boost. When you land here, so Vokes is basically third, right? I like this, hit this, boom, boom, boom. Or depending on where the ball goes next, I still like hitting these two, turn up, this boost pad, right? Because if you turn, say you go boost pad, boost pad, boost pad, face your card this way, see where this ball goes. Ball goes right to you. Boom, boom, and what is it, 12 per boost pad right now? So that's 12, 24, 36, 48, 50, was it 62? Right? No, 50, 60, sorry, I'm tired. So you can turn, boom, 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 and you can play this ball, and you have 60 boost going off wall. And even if you don't rush that ball, say you play safe, you go boom, boom. If you play this outside angle, where Coco hits it, you can, now you have a straight hit, right? So where, say you do boom, boom, and then you're here, you're like, oh, okay, Coco's going to hit this, all right, you're going to play here, right? Then you go at it that way. And you have, that play I think is one less, so you're 48. 48 is still enough to pop a ball and follow, or pop a ball and double tap, right? So you still have enough to do there. So let's kind of get back to where we are. Right here, you only pick up 112 boost, where you left probably 30 to 40 plus more boost on the table right here by just a small different path. I like that patience, but you have no boost, so there's nothing you can do. Nice ground pinch. again, I think you got left in the dark here because you held your camera on way too long. Turn it off right here. It should have been off by midfield. Like right. So let's line ourselves up. Boom, camera off. Line up. Turn it off. Right here it should have been off. And then you would have seen him probably coming and you could have turned inward. I don't think you're saving it because it's a great shot he put on net. But at least you have a little more knowledge of it coming, you know? So just line yourself up, hold gas, turn boost off, turn the ball cam on, and just pay attention to where the ball is. That's the game. There's a couple things. I think your ball cam flicking is there, but I think you turn it off a little long. Really just practice on ball cam off, line up, ball cam on, and just drive at it. And then kind of get a feeling where those small boost pads are. Change your pathing just a little bit. I think those will help you a lot. I think also watching your teammates free hits, turning upfield, so teammate hits it, or you see a teammate going to hit it, turn upfield, give them an opportunity to hit it too. You know, be confident. I noticed when you played a little more confident and you say, oh, I know he's putting this downfield. Like his angle looks good. There's no way he can't put this downfield. When you got a hold of the ball, I think the closer you were to the ball, I think a little more confident you got. When the ball was kind of out in space and you had space, it was a little awkward, but I think if you do a little more aggressive on your turning, upfield, things like that, I think it'd be really good. But when you played with confidence, just say, hey, I'm just gonna move upfield and I'm gonna play some offense. You know, don't limit yourself and don't be scared to get scored on. That's hard sometimes, but when you don't play scared to get scored on, as long as you're not double committing, you're probably putting your team in a really good spot, right? So just don't play scared, which I don't think you played really scared. I just think there's certain times you didn't have confidence that the hit was going to happen, which happens at these levels, right? I still, like I said before, I still don't have confidence that GCs are going to hit the ball sometimes. It just depends on who it is, you know, it just happens. So just try to have confidence. You got to trust everyone to hit every single ball, because if they can't trust you, if you can't trust them to hit the ball, they're not going to trust you to be in the right spot, and then you get a whole nother line of it's just not going to be there. So definitely work on your camera flicking a little more, turning up a little faster, watch the hits, things like that. But I think you did a couple things really good. Your hits didn't seem bad. I don't think like you hit anything awful, so I think you have good ball contact. But it's kind of some small little things, details, rotationally. Definitely work on the small boost pads too. I think like hitting a little more small boost pads without boosting around. Just flip into one, drive to one, hit, and then boost. You know, so you probably have 30 to 40 extra boosts from three small boost pads or 36 boost. And I think that's the amount you need to get to the ceiling. So just keep that in mind. But anyways, so that's the replay. I hope it was good. See ya.